The story of Rome begins in 753 BCE, with the legendary founding of the city by Romulus and Remus. Archaeological evidence suggests that early Roman settlements emerged from a confederation of Latin tribes in central Italy. Initially ruled by kings, Rome transformed into a republic around 509 BCE after overthrowing the last Etruscan king, Tarquin the Proud. The Roman Republic was characterized by a complex system of governance involving two consuls, the Senate, and various assemblies. This period saw Rome's gradual expansion throughout Italy and the Mediterranean. The Punic Wars against Carthage marked Rome's emergence as a dominant Mediterranean power. Hannibal's famous crossing of the Alps during the Second Punic War posed the greatest threat to Roman survival. But Rome ultimately prevailed, destroying Carthage and establishing itself as the master of the Western Mediterranean. The first triumvirate between Julius Caesar Pompey and Crassus represented an informal alliance that undermined republican institutions. The late Republic was marked by internal strife, civil wars, and the rise of powerful generals. Caesar's conquest of Gaul brought immense wealth and military prestige, but his crossing of the Rubicon in 49 BCE triggered civil war. After defeating Pompey, Caesar became dictator but was assassinated in 44 BCE by senators who feared his growing power. The assassination sparked further civil wars. The second triumvirate of Mark, Antony, Octavian, and Lepidus temporarily restored order, but rivalry between Antony and Octavian led to the final conflict. Octavian's victory at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE over Antony and Cleopatra marked the end of the Roman Republic. Octavian, renamed Augustus, became Rome's first emperor in 27 BCE, though he carefully maintained republican facades. Augustus established the Principate, a system where he held supreme power while preserving traditional institutions. His reign brought the Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and prosperity that would last for approximately 200 years. Augustus implemented crucial reforms. He professionalized the army, created the Praetorian Guard, established an efficient bureaucracy, and expanded the empire's borders to natural frontiers. He also promoted Roman culture and values, commissioning great works like Virgil's Aeneid and undertaking massive building projects, famously claiming he found Rome brick and left it marble. The Julio-Claudian dynasty continued with Tiberius, Augustus's stepson, who proved to be an able but increasingly reclusive ruler. Caligula followed, whose erratic behavior and cruelty led to his assassination. Claudius surprised many by proving an effective administrator who conquered Britain and expanded the empire's infrastructure. Nero began promisingly but descended into tyranny, persecution of Christians, and extravagance, ultimately leading to his suicide and the dynasty's end. The year of 4 emperors saw a rapid succession of rulers before Vespasian established the Flavian dynasty. Vespasian restored stability and finances, initiating construction of the Colosseum. His son Titus completed the Colosseum but died young after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum in 79 CE. Domitian proved an effective administrator but became increasingly autocratic, leading to his assassination and the Senate's condemnation of his memory. The Nerva Antonine period represents the height of Roman power and prosperity. Nerva briefly restored senatorial dignity before adopting Trajan as his successor. Trajan expanded the empire to its greatest territorial extent, conquering Dacia and parts of Mesopotamia. His reign was marked by extensive public works, including Trajan's Forum and Column. Hadrian consolidated these gains, traveling throughout the empire and building fortifications like Hadrian's Wall in Britain. A cultured ruler interested in architecture, poetry, and philosophy, Hadrian founded cities and promoted Greek culture while strengthening Roman administration. Antoninus Pius presided over a peaceful, prosperous period, earning his surname through his pious character and effective governance. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, faced increasing challenges including plague, Germanic invasions, and internal revolts. His meditations reveal a stoic ruler grappling with duty and mortality while defending the empire's just frontiers. The death of Marcus Aurelius marked the beginning of the empire's decline, and his son Caracalla, extending citizenship to all free inhabitants of the empire in 212 CE. His son Commodus was more interested in gladiatorial combat than governance, leading to his assassination. The Severan dynasty temporarily restored order, with Septimius Severus militarizing the government. The crisis of the 3rd century brought near collapse. Between 235 to 284 CE, over 50 emperors claimed power, most dying violent deaths. The empire faced simultaneous threats: Germanic invasions, Persian resurgence, economic inflation, plague, and political fragmentation. At one point, the empire split into 3 parts: the Gallic Empire in the west, the Palmyrene Empire in the east, and the Central Roman Empire. Diocletian ended the crisis through radical reforms. He established the Tetrarchy, dividing the empire between 4 rulers to improve administration and defense. Diocletian also implemented price controls, tax reforms, and persecuted Christians in the last Great Persecution. His abdication in 305 CE was unprecedented. The Tetrarchy collapsed into civil war, from which Constantine emerged victorious. The Battle of Milvian Bridge in 312 CE saw Constantine's conversion to Christianity, fundamentally changing the empire's religious character. Constantine legalized Christianity through the Edict of Milan, founded Constantinople as a new Rome, and reunited the empire under sole rule. After Constantine's death, the empire was divided among his sons, beginning a pattern of partition between East and West. Julian the Apostate briefly attempted to restore paganism but died fighting the Persians. Theodosius I made Christianity the official religion and was the last emperor to rule both East and West. The permanent division after 395 CE created the Western and Eastern empires. The Western Empire faced increasing barbarian pressure. The sack of Rome by Alaric and Genseric demonstrated Roman military weakness. Germanic tribes established kingdoms within former Roman territories: Visigoths in Spain, Vandals in North Africa, and Ostrogoths in Italy. The last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed in 476 CE by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer, traditionally marking the Western Empire's end. However, the Eastern Empire continued for another 1,000 years, maintaining Roman law, administration, and identity. The Byzantine Empire preserved Roman traditions while developing its own distinct character. Justinian I attempted to reconquer the West, temporarily retaking Italy, North Africa, and southern Spain. His codification of Roman law became the foundation of legal systems throughout Europe. The empire survived Arab conquests, iconoclastic controversies, and Slavic invasions. The Macedonian dynasty marked a golden age of territorial expansion and cultural achievement. However, the defeat at Manzikert by the Seljuk Turks began Byzantine decline. The Fourth Crusade saw Crusaders sack Constantinople, fragmenting the empire. Although the Byzantines recaptured the capital in 1261 CE, they never fully recovered. The Ottoman Turks gradually conquered Byzantine territories, culminating in the fall of Constantinople on May 29, 1453 CE, ending the last vestige of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire's success rested on a sophisticated economic system that integrated diverse Mediterranean regions into a unified commercial network. Roman currency, particularly the denarius, facilitated trade across vast distances. The empire's road system, spanning over 250,000 miles, connected distant provinces, and enabled efficient movement of goods, people, and information. Major trade routes linked Britain's tin mines to India's spice markets, while Egyptian grain fed Rome's million inhabitants. Roman society was hierarchically structured, but offered opportunities for social mobility. At the top stood the emperor and imperial family, followed by senators and equestrians. The vast middle included soldiers, merchants, craftsmen, and freedmen, while slaves formed the foundation of the economic system. Slavery was widespread, but manumission was common, creating a large population of freedmen who often achieved considerable wealth and influence. Roman culture absorbed and transformed influences from conquered peoples. Greek philosophy, art, and literature profoundly shaped Roman intellectual life. The empire's religious tolerance allowed local deities to coexist with Roman gods, creating syncretic practices. Roman education emphasized rhetoric, literature, and law, producing skilled administrators and orators who governed the vast territories. The empire's urbanization was remarkable for its time. Cities like Rome, Alexandria, Antioch, and later Constantinople boasted populations exceeding 100,000. Roman urban planning featured forums, basilicas, theaters, amphitheaters, and public baths that served as centers of civic life. The Colosseum, Pantheon, and Circus Maximus exemplified Roman architectural ambition and engineering prowess. Roman military superiority rested on discipline, organization, and adaptability. The legion, typically comprising 5,000 men, formed the backbone of Roman armies. Legionaries underwent rigorous training, used standardized equipment, and followed strict hierarchical command structures. Roman engineering capabilities allowed rapid construction of fortifications, siege engines, and temporary bridges. Roman military tactics evolved continuously. The manipular system of the early Republic gave way to the cohort system under Marius, which proved more flexible in diverse terrains. Roman armies excelled at siege warfare, constructing elaborate fortifications during campaigns like Caesar's siege of Alesia. The empire's frontier strategy involved combinations of fixed fortifications, mobile reserves, and client kingdoms that provided buffer zones against barbarian incursions. The Praetorian Guard, established by Augustus, served as the emperor's personal force but frequently became a political power broker. Provincial armies developed local characteristics while maintaining core Roman training and equipment. Auxiliary troops, recruited from non-citizen populations, provided specialized skills like archery, cavalry, and naval warfare. Roman administrative innovations enabled governance of territories stretching from Scotland to Sudan. The empire was divided into provinces governed by appointed officials responsible to the emperor. Roman law provided a common legal framework, while local customs were generally respected. The cursus honorum created professional administrators who served throughout the empire. Roman engineering achievements rivaled any ancient civilization. Aqueducts supplied cities with fresh water from distant sources, while Roman concrete enabled construction of durable buildings and massive structures like the Pantheon's dome. Roman roads facilitated communication and trade, while harbors, bridges, and lighthouses supported maritime commerce. The empire's postal system enabled rapid communication across vast distances. Official messengers could travel from Rome to Britain in approximately 40 days, remarkable for ancient standards. This communication network allowed effective central control while permitting local autonomy. The empire's decline resulted from multiple interconnected factors. Economic pressures included debasement of currency, inflation, and heavy taxation required to maintain the military. Political instability, particularly during the 3rd century crisis, weakened central authority. External pressures from Germanic tribes, Huns, and Sassanid Persians strained military resources. Climate change may have contributed to agricultural difficulties and population movements. The Antonine Plague and subsequent epidemics reduced population and economic productivity. The empire's transformation into a Christian state under Constantine represented both continuity and change, preserving Roman institutions while adopting new religious frameworks. The Roman Empire's legacy profoundly shaped Western civilization. Roman law forms the basis of legal systems worldwide. Latin evolved into Romance languages, while Roman architecture, engineering, and urban planning influenced development for centuries. The concept of citizenship, republican government, and imperial administration originated or were refined in Rome. Christianity spread throughout the empire created lasting religious and cultural patterns. The Roman Catholic Church preserved Roman organizational structures and legal traditions. The Holy Roman Empire and other successor states claimed Roman legitimacy for over a millennium. Roman literature, philosophy, and historical writing transmitted Greek knowledge to medieval Europe. Authors like Virgil, Ovid, Tacitus, and Cicero remained central to Western education. Roman engineering achievements, roads, aqueducts, amphitheaters, demonstrated technological capabilities that wouldn't be matched for centuries. The Roman Empire's transformation from city-state to Mediterranean hegemon to divided Christian empire illustrates themes of expansion, integration, adaptation, and eventual fragmentation that continue to resonate in modern discussions of empire, governance, and cultural identity. Its 1,000-year duration in the West and 2,000-year existence in the East makes it one of history's most enduring political entities, whose influence extends far beyond its chronological boundaries.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more engaging historical content.